Rafa News. We're going to talk about India's result yesterday. It was a dead rubber match. They lost to Australia. Koi baat nahi, because the bigger picture was the series was won 2-1 or 2-0 before that final match. And these three matches, which were the last possible opportunities for the Indian team to lock in their World Cup combination, because आज यानी कि 28 सितंबर आखिरी दिन है World Cup squad submit करने के लिए. We'll talk about the takeaways from these three ODIs, in which many players were rested, some were not fully fit, and some ended up not playing the final match because of illness. But overall, before I get into taking your questions on this live stream, I want to quickly put forward my personal four takeaways from these three matches between India and Australia. Now, we knew कि जब विराट कोहली, रोहित शर्मा, हार्दिक पांड्या, कुलदीप यादव इन प्लेयर्स को पहले दो मैच के लिए रेस्ट किया गया था, it was an opportunity for the likes of Surya Kumar Yadav, Mohammad Shami, the players who perhaps will not play as many matches during the World Cup as the first choice players. So it was very important that whenever someone like a Surya Kumar Yadav, who to my mind probably will not play more than two matches during the World Cup, whenever he got that call during the World Cup, जिस दिन उनको टीम बोलेगी कि भाई तुम अगले मैच खेल रहे हो, would Surya Kumar Yadav be able to slot in for his first World Cup match ever and have some confidence, some form to fall back on? तो खुशी की बात है कि पहले दो वनडे यानी कि मोहाली और इंदौर में जो लगातार सूर्य कुमार यादव ने बेहतरीन 50 मारे, वन द फर्स्ट वन अ rather controlled, sensible innings by his standards when the team was in search of a decent target. They lost some wickets. The way that Surya Kumar Yadav put on that partnership, that big partnership, given the context with KL Rahul, that to my mind was a reminder of what he can do. And then the second match at Indore, flat wicket, very small boundaries, to many people's minds, probably the best possible situation for a batsman of Surya Kumar Yadav's repertoire to walk out to. क्योंकि platform दिया गया था उन्हें, Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Shreyas Iyer, not Rohit Sharma, sorry, Shubman Gill, Ruturaj Gaikwad, Shreyas Iyer. There was a platform given, and then Surya Kumar Yadav was able to just tee off, and we saw him get that 72 not out of some 39, 38 balls, a strike rate of over 200. That kind of confidence is what the Indian team needed, to my mind, get from Surya Kumar Yadav. कि जब भी वर्ल्ड कप में एक मैच हो, दो मैच हो, जब भी उनको कॉल देगी टीम, सूर्य कुमार यादव कुछ फॉर्म और कुछ कॉन्फिडेंस लेकर उस मैच में आ चुके. So one major box tick given his inconsistent form leading into this series. आपको याद रहा कि इस तीन मैच की श्रृंखला से पहले सूर्य कुमार यादव की वनडे बैटिंग एवरेज 25 से कम थी. It's now gone over 28, 29 because of how well he batted in those two matches. Yes, he didn't do well in the third match, but the way he batted in the first match and the second match, to my mind, that's a massive tick for India going into the World Cup, because Surya Kumar Yadav will not start many games, but when he does, at least he can look back at two match winning 50s and take some positive from that. Mohammad Shami की बात करूं, another extremely skilled senior pace bowler, लेकिन जो टीम कॉम्बिनेशन और टीम्स की रिक्वायरमेंट के चलते ज्यादा मैचेस नहीं खेलेंगे वर्ल्ड कप में. I think Mohammad Shami would probably play matches when the team has decided to rest someone or rotate someone, or unless the track demands three specialist fast bowlers. तो उस लिहाज से जब आपके फर्स्ट चॉइस पेसर्स वर्ल्ड कप के लिए जसप्रीत बुमराह, मोहम्मद सिराज और शार्दुल ठाकुर होंगे, with perhaps two spinning all-rounders and Hardik Pandya, it was very important that Mohammad Shami also had some good performances to look back on. And that first match in Mohali, 10 overs, one maiden, 5 wickets for 51 runs, man of the match in Mohali. That is a very encouraging positive for Mohammad Shami. Because जब भी World Cup में team उन्हें मौका देगी, you can at least look back and say, you know what? Very recently, I was man of the match. That's a second major box ticked off. Now, coming to the most important box, मेरे हिसाब से श्रेयस अय्यर. श्रेयस अय्यर इस इंडियन टीम में क्या जगह कायम करते हैं? Of course, because the team relies on him. नंबर 4 पे, नंबर 5 पे, मिडिल ऑर्डर पे इनके आंकड़े बेहतरीन है वनडे फॉर्मेट में पिछले 3 साल में. And we've seen it's that success, that reputation is what prompted the Indian team and the selectors to delay their squad announcement जब तक श्रेयस अय्यर और केएल राहुल दोनों फिट होते. अब श्रेयस अय्यर एशिया कप में उनको ज्यादा मौके नहीं मिले क्योंकि पाकिस्तान मैच के बाद he had a flaring up of the back spasm, did not play again, and then in the first match against Australia he got run out for just 3 runs. तो उस लिहाज से देखे मोहाली और राजकोट, सॉरी इंदौर और राजकोट were the only last possible chances for Shreyas Iyer A to prove that he could bat, across the majority of an innings, and also whether he had the runs and the form to merit starting India's World Cup campaign on October 8th against Australia in Chennai. और खुशी की बात है मुझे personally, because I'm a big fan of Shreyas Iyer's batting. इनका spin game बेहतरीन है, इनको पारी चलानी आती है. The way that he got that 105 off 90 balls, man of the match, it was a final reminder. अगर किसी को शक था कि नंबर 4 पर सिर्फ और सिर्फ श्रेयस अय्यर बैटिंग करेंगे वर्ल्ड कप में, a massive, perhaps the biggest tick mark for India from this series. उसके बाद आते हैं जसप्रीत बुमराह पर. जसप्रीत बुमराह 12 महीने बाद एक वनडे मैच खेले एशिया कप में, बट ड्यूरिंग द एशिया कप ही आल्सो मिस्ड वन मैच फॉर द बर्थ ऑफ हिज सन. उन्होंने 10 ओवर नहीं डाले थे किसी भी एशिया कप मैच में. सो दीज 3 वनडे मैचेस, भले से वो 2 ही मैच खेले ऑस्ट्रेलिया के सामने, मेरे हिसाब से बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट था कि इंडियन टीम मैनेजमेंट ये देखे कि क्या जसप्रीत बुमराह पूरे 50 ओवर फील्ड पर रह सकते हैं और क्या वो 10 ओवर डाल सकते हैं. और मोहाली मैच में अक्रॉस 3 स्पेल्स ही बोल्ड 10 ओवर्स, 2 मेडन्स, 1 विकेट फॉर 43 रन्स. आखिरी मैच में on that flat Rajkot track, his first 5 overs went for 51 runs, but he came back giving 30 odd runs in his last 5 to take 3 wickets for 81 runs. Expensive, yes, but given the conditions, given the nature of the track, I'm okay with that. क्योंकि सबसे बड़ा पॉजिटिव बुमराह को लेकर हम बात करें, it was the fact that he ticked off the main criteria in both his one-day matches of this series, and that is to stay on the park for the full innings of Australia's innings and to bowl 10 overs. So going into a very very important World Cup, it was imperative कि जसप्रीत बुमराह 10 ओवर डाल के दिखाएं 2 मैच में, और खुशी की बात है कि उन्होंने किया. आखिरी पॉइंट बिफोर आई कम टू योर क्वेश्चंस, रविचंद्रन अश्विन. बहुत बार इस चैनल पर मैं बता चुका हूं कि अश्विन कैसे और क्यों वापस आए हैं. अभी लगता है मुझे कि उन्होंने इतनी अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस दी, खासकर दूसरे वनडे में जो वो खेले. ही डिडंट प्ले द थर्ड मैच, बट इन टेकिंग अ बैकडोर एंट्री इनटू इंडियाज वर्ल्ड कप प्लान्स. रिमेंबर, ही डिड नॉट गो टू द एशिया कप, एंड बिफोर दिस ऑस्ट्रेलिया सीरीज ही प्लेड 2 ODIs in the last 6 years. Ashwin comes in because Akshar was injured, bowled well in the first match, got 3 wickets in the second match, didn't play the third match, but the doubts over Akshar Patel's fitness, the need, the very clear need for an off spinner, and the fact that Washington Sundar did not play the first 2 matches, मेरे हिसाब से, और आज इंडिया का वर्ल्ड कप स्क्वाड ऐलान भी होगा, I think Ravi Chandran Ashwin has done enough to prove or to convince the captain, the coach, the selectors कि उनको World Cup जाना चाहिए. Because in those 2 matches, he kept runs down overall decently, and he showed why he's a king in India conditions, taking 3 wickets in the second match. So Iyer coming back, staying fit, scoring runs. Mohammad Shami coming off the bench, taking wickets. Suryakumar Yadav coming off the bench, scoring 250s. Ashwin ticking most boxes to show people why he should be in the World Cup squad. And then lastly, dosto, Jasprit Bumrah bowling 10 overs. These are the main takeaways for me from these 3 one-day matches against Australia.